Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. I'm just gonna jump right into it. So this video is gonna be about why my toxic relationship was a toxic relationship. I don't really know what I'm gonna call it, but I'm just gonna start saying stuff, and then when I get to it, I get to it. So you already know the title, but whatever. Anyway, so yes, if you haven't seen my previous video, watch it. It leads up to this video and stuff. But yeah, he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I'm just like, okay, like, oh, I'm cute and blah 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 blah. Honestly, when I look back at it now, I feel like our relationship our relationship was fucked from the beginning because he was already lying to me. There was already a lot of, there was no trust in the relationship. And my insecurities were high and things like that or whatever. This time I was depressed. I was cutting. I was using drugs and alcohol to cope, and sex. But yeah, pretty much, we became boyfriend and girlfriend, and I wanted to get go out. I wanted to go to the movies and go hang out, and him pick me up from school or whatever. And when I said that to him, like, I kind of hinted those things, like, oh, so we're going to do those things now. He's like, no, that's not high school. Like, I'm not in high school anymore. I'm bullshit, whatever. I'm like, dude, but you dating a high schooler or whatever. And he's like, oh, I'm not high school. I'm past that shit, so I don't want to do that. Like, he always did some excuse or whatever. But anyway, we would fight all the time. And, when we fought, I would get back at him by, fucking other people. Like, I remember one time he told me that he did not like this guy in my school because of something he said or whatever earlier on. I'm like, a word? And I literally went to that guy and be like, dude, you're hot. You want to fuck? And he's like, hell yeah. And I fucked him. And I literally been like, well, I fucked him, so suck on that, Brian, Which is a true story. But, like, it was a lot of that. I remember one time he came and he brought this girl with him that went to our school, or used to go to our school. And he was like, oh, she's down to have a threesome. Would you want to do that? And I'm like, no, like, what the fuck? So, like, he wanted an open relationship type thing. And I thought, like, if we're exclusive, like, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, that's off the table. And so he kind of warped my brain into thinking that, guys would never want me unless they can have everything, They can have threesomes, and they can do this, and they can do that. Like, that's where my mind was going to. And it was like me crying every night, me getting upset, me cutting even more because he, pissed me off, from me finding some random guy to fuck because he pissed me off. Like, that is a toxic cycle. And, it was not the best with my family. Like, remember I told you I was faking it. Like, I forgot to tell you guys that, after me going to the hospital a whole bunch of times before I actually, started to, like, want to fake it or whatever, my school social worker, he told me about this thing called, Safe Haven. And it's where, runaways have a place to stay or whatever and cool off between their family. And he was telling me about that. So I decided to go there, and I went there for like 2 weeks or like 3 weeks or so. And I cooled off. But when I was thinking about there and stuff like that, I didn't get the same feeling as the hospital. I didn't get that same type of connection or whatever. And I was just like, I can't keep chasing that. And I think that's also a realization that I had as well. But even though I was faking it with my mental health, I couldn't really fake it with my family. Like, I was having issues with my family no matter what, like 100%. And it was between me eating too much and having food issues, and like, them taking pictures of my food and like showing it to other family members and things like that, to the fact that my dad said something about my relationship with Brian, and how, oh, why does Brian only come around at night, and oh, I must be a part-time girlfriend. He said something like that to me about my relationship with Brian, which, I mean, I understand, like, my dad makes jokes, like, he doesn't, like, he's not serious, like, he makes jokes like that all the time. But at that moment, like, I'm depressed. I'm already like, why is he not like this or whatever? Who can love me like this or whatever? And then my dad is saying something on top of it. It was like all too much. But anyway, he never really blatantly out said it, like, oh, no one would ever love me like he would. But he showed it in his actions, and he like would be like, oh, but you love me, like, you're not gonna leave anyway, like that type shit. Like, he would say shit like that. And I remember one time he went and he said to me, oh, something about, like, oh, I got mad at him one time or whatever, right? And he went and he was like, oh, let me come over, let's like fuck or whatever. And I was ignoring him. And he was like, oh, Vanessa, talk to me. If you don't talk to me, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, shit like that. Like, that's toxic, guys. Like, disclaimer, like, if you hear any of this and you think that you're in a toxic relationship, please get help, like, seriously. But because I'm not a professional or whatever. But yeah, he was toxic. And then, like, he would, like, one time we had sex, and I didn't take a shower or whatever and things like that. And he was like, oh, did you take a shower before you came into bed? Came over here? And I was like, no, why? And he's like, oh, you smelled. Take a shower next time. And, like, little things like that, like, it stuck with me, like, I probably didn't, I probably sweat because of the action that we were doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it kind of, like, those little things, it was like those little things that he kind of said. And after he said that, it was like, but I still love you, okay? No, bye, babe. Like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like little things that were very toxic. And that's pretty much our relationship. And I was depressed, and that lasted a while. And he made me so angry and so, like, in love with him and things like that, and then one day he broke up with me. He was like, oh, you're too spoiled or something like that. I forget what he said, but he said that I was a spoiled brat, and I forgot why he said I was a spoiled brat, but he broke up with me because I was a spoiled brat. And then I couldn't accept it, and I decided to pretend that I was pregnant. So he can't leave me because I'm pregnant. And he was just like, oh, let me pay for an abortion. And I'm just like, I can't believe you would abort our kid. And he's like, well, I'm not ready to have a kid. I didn't go to college yet. You're still in high school. Like, I can't do this. And when I realized that I did this because I wanted him to stay around, I knew that I had to get out. I knew it. But yeah, guys, that was kind of my toxic relationship. So I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.